Hello. Today I'm reading. Gosh, I did it again. Today I am reading Evie, and I'm gonna talk about The Ghost and Little Marie by Bobbi Holmes. Number 15 of Haunting Danielle. I'm almost halfway through. Not quite, but almost. And the plot line, or description, is a bit longer than it usually is, so that's nice. The family of Adam Nichols show up in Frederickport when Marie ends up in a nursing home with a broken hip. Yet, unlike Adam, who is trying to get his grandmother home, the new arrivals are more concerned with selling off her assets and keeping her in the questionable facility. While Danielle tries to help her dear friend, she begins wondering maybe not having a family has its good points after all, especially when you're rich. And it's not just Marie's family causing problems. Walt's distant cousin begins making his own demands. Let's get going. So I'm gonna read off 4 characters. Just gonna introduce them real quick. Warren is Marie's son, who we are finally meeting, who is also Adam's father. It was her only child. So. She has 1 kid, 1 son, and 2 grandkids, and no great-grandkids. Warren, Marie's son. Chloe, Warren's wife, Adam's mother. Jason is Adam's brother, who we are also just meeting. I didn't even know he had a brother. If it was mentioned, I missed it. And then we have Sandra, who is Jason's fiance. Marie was murdered. I haven't really talked about her a whole lot, but she's basically Danielle's friend, other best friend, kind of. So they talked a lot. Marie told her all sorts of stories. Yeah, and was really helpful, discovering things about Walt. Walt knew Marie as a baby. He was still alive when she was born. And go figure, because I think he was also dead for 91 years. So, checks out. So he died when she was a baby. So he technically knew her. Called her Little Marie. So, that's where the title came from. Poor Marie. It was really sad. I said probably by her kid. So, because he only cared about the money. Just go figure. Every other character in these book series. Yeah, my eye. Besides, Danielle, of course. Adam said he likely left his phone in her room too, so I bet I bet he'll be framed for her murder. Unfortunately, though, they didn't realize it was murder at first. I didn't think about that. Because she was suffocated by a pillow. And it was her own pillow. So they basically just thought she died, natural causes. Probably from, the surgery, basically. Even though she was just fine. And was ready to go home. They told Adam and Danny. Danny was there to give a snack to her. But they don't know it was murder. My bad. I forgot I was there. Forgot I put that down. Warren, Marie's son, tried withdrawing $5,000 from her account. Turns out he was removed from the account. Haha. Adam is the only one on it. Yeah, so I kept thinking, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was any one of them besides Adam. That would have been one heck of a twist. But I think these books are a little too cozy to go there. So I wouldn't have been surprised if it was Warren, Chloe, Jason, or Sandra even. Jason, actually I have a note about that later. Chloe just didn't like her. Warren, was pretty much indifferent. I don't know. Just wasn't ever there for her. I just would not have been surprised. Marie is in no rush to move on, at least. Yeah, Danny was like, oh, well, don't you want to be with your husband? And Marie was like, nah, I didn't really like him. I was like, dang. So, the poor husband. But apparently he was, basically kind of like Warren, though. So, I guess that's where Warren got his traits from. Lovely traits. And she was like, well, women back then just didn't divorce. You pretty much just put up with it. I felt bad for her in that case. At least now she gets a choice in her death. Adam is in his 40s. I thought he was younger. I thought he was... I think we knew that he was a little older than Danny. She's I think like early 30s, like 33-ish. So I thought he was like 35-ish. So not that far off, but I wonder if it was Jason, Adam's brother, who killed her. Man, I really did not finish much sentences in these notes. I thought it was Warren, but I don't know. Like I said, I kept going back and forth. Actually, I'm thinking Adam's mom. Because I think it was Chloe. So she was the one who went for... She had a motive, I just don't remember what it was. Sandra is likely cheating. Yeah, so she got on the phone and was just having a, like, hush-hush conversation. And I didn't write down what she said, but it lasted for, like, 2 seconds. And was basically like, I gotta go. So, or I can't do this here, or something like that. So, it sounded like she was having an affair. Jason lost his job and didn't tell anyone. So maybe he needs the money and killed for it. I don't know why they expect everyone else to move on when Walt refuses to. Yeah, they kept trying to convince her like the whole time. And it was just like, okay. It's like, they convince everybody, but meanwhile, you have Walt. And they keep on like, oh, well, that's different. I'm like, how? How is that different? It is not different. Marie is convinced that the family is innocent of murder and that someone from the nursing home did it. Watch it be Sunny. Sunny is one of the nurses there, one of the caregivers, and apparently she's full of sunshine. Hence the name Sunny. Nickname, I think. So Sunny also was friends with Carol Ann. Did I put a note on that, actually? Oh, well, I'll just say it now. So Carol Ann was part of that kidnapping thing from the ghost who stayed home when they were all kidnapped and trying to get Chris's, like, money for like $5 million or something like that. I feel like it was maybe way more than that. Whatever. So, them two were friends and even went to school together. Can't remember what school, if it was like college or whatever, or high school. I don't know. It was some school. So, I just kind of made the joke because it seems to be how it be in these books. Everyone loves a character or whatever, and nope, they're the ones who are the killers. Even in Marie's death, she will not stop pestering Adam for grandkids, or great-grandkids, whatever, and for him to get married. She put in the letter to be read before her revised will was revealed. Oh, she put it in the letter, yeah. That he should get married and have kids. She will not stop. So, okay, they read the revised will, and nobody knew it was revised. No, not even Adam, yeah. I was going to say except Adam, but not even Adam knew. Which nobody believed. Because, what's her name? Melanie. Melanie was the lawyer on the case here, and revised the will, and they're dating, I don't know. I think they're really just friends at this point. But whatever. They're a little confusing. Anyways, so they were like, Adam definitely knew. But nope, nobody knew but Melanie and Marie that she revised her will. Ha ha ha. This is what happened. Warren got $50,000 only because that's what their estate was worth when his dad died. Ha. Any sane person would have been more than grateful on that, but not this greedy bastard. No. Jason only got $20,000 as basically help to buy a house, which hopefully she doesn't think that's all it takes. But I think it was just to help, like down payment or whatever. I would say, I mean, she's old, but she also rents houses, so, or part of like a rental thing. So she's a part of a real estate business. So I think it was just a help. Plus he was never really there for her. So Marie left Danny a tea set before Melanie said what it was, because she said, all she said was Danny, and Warren was like, no, I knew it, she was going to leave her everything, and blah, 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 you don't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. What, Cora? Sorry. He had a little bit of a fit, because he thought she was getting more. And then Melanie was like, you get my tea set. Like, think of me when you drink tea or whatever. It was something, like, cute, but And then, of course, Adam got everything else. So whatever that's worth, I don't really know. It never said, but I was right. Sandra did cheat. Danny thought she was the killer and had her come over to confront her, which everyone was like, that's stupid, but they didn't know about Walt, so. And his handiness when it comes to guns, in case she had one. But obviously she didn't, and she even brought out, she was like, because I think Danny had actually accused her of it, and she was like, no. But she ended up like breaking down crying. I was like, I didn't mean for it to happen. It was an accident. And then that's when Danny was like, you accidentally murdered Marie? And she was like, what? No, I cheated. I was like, oh. And she was like, well, what if I had came over with a gun? I can't remember what Danny said, but yeah. Oh well. So, Sandra was not the killer. Apparently, one of the nurses in the home was switching the meds with placebos. Caught by a ghost, too. And it was kind of sad, because there was one guy who had a knee replacement, and kept on, like, I need, like, drugs. I need the drugs. I'm in pain. And they were like, you just had one. And he was like, it's not really working. And then he even made a wisecrack, like, oh, well, I swear they give us sugar pills, because it's not really working. So, a ghost, they said her name in passing. It was at the end when everything was happening. She saw it, and she kept trying to tell somebody, and it was, I wrote the name. It was a woman named Mabel, but she was old, so old, and, didn't really register that it was a ghost. So she was just like, okay. And she thought she was talking to Marie. It was Sunny. And this is the part where I said she was friends with Carol Ann, so. Unfortunately, they can't, so let me tell the story here. Sunny was in a car wreck, 10 years ago. That was about it. She got addicted to the meds, actually, so, short story. So, she, was working at this nursing home and switched the meds. Short story, really. She killed Marie because Marie refused to take her medication. And because she really felt fine. She was like, I'm ready to go home. I'm good. Whatever. So she wasn't even taking her meds, and because they kept forcing it, obviously. You can't just, not give an old person meds just because they said they don't feel like it. Maybe. I don't know. Is that the way of it? Oh, he's asleep. But yeah, so, they had to give her meds, but she was like, nope. And so she ended up just hiding it and then pocketing it and then flushing them later. And somehow Sunny found out. I don't know if somebody told her, if she caught it. I didn't actually catch that part. But, yeah, so she thought she was onto her. And that's why she wasn't taking her pills, because they were sugar pills. But no, she just didn't want to be medicated. So it was kind of sad. She died for literally nothing. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense only that it wasn't the family, only because, again, she was 91. It's like, who killed somebody old for money? But, and they even Danny brought up, because that was more of a crime of passion. That was like, it wasn't pre-planned. Plus, she was a horrible person anyways. Nobody liked her. Whereas Marie was really well loved. Unfortunately, they can't prove Sunny killed Marie because the only proof is Marie. But she should still go away for murdering poor Mabel. Yeah, so Mabel found out. No, she reported it to the nurse and so killed her. Of what the ghost told her, or something like that. And then she kidnapped Danny. Sunny did. And kept her in the dill. So Sunny is at least going away. And then I said, ooh, Walt's cousin is making a reservation to come to the Marlow House. Yeah, so he kept wanting to... Was that in this book? Yeah, it was in this book. I forgot to note it. Basically, he emailed Danny asking for the paintings of Walt and Angela. Oh, that's what I keep trying to call Agatha. So, and which... in a normal world, it would make complete sense for her to want to give them to the family, because you don't know that the ghost of Walt is still lingering around. So to him, yeah, it makes complete sense. But Walt doesn't want to sell them. Even though he doesn't like Angela, but he explained it. I don't remember what it was, but he was like, no, I want the paintings, they're mine. And obviously Danny can't tell the cousin that. So it's a little weird, but it'd be what it be, I guess. Alright, well, that was my thoughts on Ghost and Little Marie. Poor Marie. Poor Adam. I'm so sad. Why do they always kill off everybody? I guess you don't expect anything less when you're reading the Haunting Danielle series, where everything starts with the ghost. Oh well. Let me know what you thought. Bye.